So in this video, we are going to learn how to set up and then use the REE services inventory app. So to start with, you can see I have poor internet connection. So the app is telling me I have a very slow network, but we can just continue and then let me just close it at the top here. So we continue. If you use English, you continue. If it's French, you can continue as well. So let's use English. We continue from here. So just like you see, we are starting up. So we're good to get started. And then this is a guest account. So there's less to be done here. So we can just head on to login, or we can tap on login from the previous page. And then we are brought to this page. So to make everything very simple, you can just tap on register, and then you click on login or sign up with Google or Apple. In my case, I already have an account, so I will head back to login, and then I will log in with my Gmail. But if you are new, you have to sign up with Google or Apple, or better still, you can still fill in your name, your email address, password, and then you confirm it, and then you verify your email. So let me just head on and then log in. I'm in. So this my store. So actually, after creating an account, this is the first interface you receive, and then this is just a tour, so you can just close it for now, and then we come back to it. So I just have to head on and then change my store, so I show you how it works. So let me head on and switch my store, and then I teach you how it works. So now, when you download or you sign up for the first time, you have to add an account. So you will not be having this interface. So you need to add an account. So you tap on add another store or create an account. Create a store at the top here. So you click on add another store, and then you fill in your store info. So your store name, your location, store type, store description, currency. So the store description is not compulsory. So the options with the star or the red stars are compulsory. So you select your currency as well, and then the owner's name, contact number, and then you can leave this blank. If you have an affiliate code, you can input it here, but if you don't, leave it blank, and then you create a store. So that's what it's going to be. So let's just create a sample store here. Let's create a sample store. So let's continue from here. So we continue from here. So this is where, after filling in every required info, you tap on create store, and then you'll be prompted to create a 4-digit PIN. So this is an admin PIN. This is the code or the PIN you use to open most features of the app. So for instance, for an example, let me create mine to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you confirm the code again, and then you click on create store. You click on create store, you wait for it, and then the store created successfully. So you can head back, and then you are in your store. So just as you see at the top, the store name, and then everything in here. So that's how it works. So now let's move to the next step. The next step is adding inventory. So basically, let me give you an overview, or let's learn an overview of how everything is going to work. First of all, when you download the app, you create an account. After creating an account, you add a store. After adding a store, you need to add items to the store. So we use the add inventory to add items to the store. And then we use start sale to start selling. When someone comes to buy, we sell using start sale. So with the rest of the features, they are only features which are going to help us, which are going to help us get analytics on what is going on in our shop. For instance, when we sell and then it's a mistake or there's any refund to be made and then any item being returned, we can go to reverse sale and then we input our code and then we reverse the sale. So let's start with adding items to our shop first. So you go to add inventory. You can watch the tutorial if you have the leisure time, if you have time. But for now, for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to skip for now. And then we go into it. So you input the 4-digit PIN you created. And then you allow access to your camera. So you allow access. And then here, you fill in the basic info. So first of all, you upload an image. So you tap on this and then you either take a photo or you choose from gallery the image of what you want to sell or the item you are adding to your store, followed by the name. So you can write the name here and then the quantity. So for the name, for instance, let me write pen. Let me just use an example, pen or a big pen. Pen. Quantity. So the quantity talks about the number of items I have in stock. So for instance, let's say I have 30 pieces of the pen. And then we go to stock alert. So with the stock alert, this is where we input the minimum quantity of the item we want it to reach, and then we get notified. So when you input 5, that means when you sell and then the items left in the shop are 5, the app will send you an automatic notification that this item, big pen, is getting finished in your shop, so you need to restock. So let me just send mine to 5. And then with the product code, a lot of items come with product code, but some also don't. So if your item comes with product code, you click on the orange button here. You click on the orange button here, and then you show it to the product's barcode. The product's barcode. So you show it to the product's barcode, and then automatically it captures it, and then it writes this random, the product's barcode there. But if your item is not having a barcode, I'll just write any random text. For instance, big pen 1123, just a random code. And then the expiry date, you set an expiry date, you select an expiry date. If your item doesn't have expiry date, you can still leave it blank. And then let's say expiry date alert, what time or what duration do you want it to get to, and then you get alerted. You get alert on the product. So for instance, if the product is due to expire in a month's time, when should you be alerted? You need to select that. So for instance, I'll choose a month or 2 months. So I sell the item very fast. So we can select the category as well. We can select category here. We can either add category. So for instance, stationery. So we can just add, and then I've added the category, which is stationery. And then we continue to brand. If you have any brand to add, maybe Nikes, maybe the Louis Vuitton, any item you have, and if it has a brand, you can add it. But mine has no brand, so I'll just leave it empty. Or I can still put a big, because the pen, we have the pen brand being big, but you can still leave it blank. And then the cost price. So for instance, I can say the cost price, I bought it for 0.20 cents, and then I'm selling it for probably, for instance, let's say $1. Let's just put for example purposes. And then that's just it. But if you were someone who goes into wholesale, then you need to toggle this on. And then here you can select the unit. So a single unit, how much are you selling it for? Maybe you can select, I'm selling it for a single unit for a dollar. Retail, probably $1. And then a wholesale. So with a wholesale, I might select, I sell it for probably 60 cents. And then minimum quantity for wholesale. So what number of items need to be added for the system to know this is a wholesale? Or what is the total number of items someone needs to buy for you to choose a wholesale price for the person? So I'll say when the person buys probably like, let's say 15, a minimum of 15, I'm selling it on a wholesale price. And then the store description, additional details, you can add it or just leave it. And then after doing that, you just tap on save product. So you add an image, you scan the item if it has a barcode. If it doesn't, you input any random code, and then you save the product. So that's just it. That's adding products to your store. Also selling. Now, let's assume you've added all the items in your shop. So let me switch to my other shop, my sample shop, which has items in the shop. So I show you how that works. So let's say we are done adding items to our store, and now we would like to sell. To sell is very simple. You just click on start sale. When someone comes to buy, click on start sale, and then you can either search by scanning the barcode of the item or by searching. So for instance, I will search. I can either use the search bar at the top or at the bottom. So this is what I've selected. And for instance, I search for pen. This is a different store with a different cost price and everything. So as you can see, it's here. I have pen. When someone is buying more than 2 or 3, I can just tap on the plus and then it changes. Or I can tap on the number itself and then input the quantity here. So that's just it. And this is how it works. So for instance, if the pen I added was a wholesale price, I added wholesale price to this. This is just another store in the sample. So assuming it had a wholesale price attached to it, immediately I tap on the plus or I input any number and it's equal to or above the wholesale price, the system automatically adjusts the price to the wholesale price. Yes, so the system will automatically do that and you can sell. Also, I can sell just this item or I can add multiple items and then sell at the same time. So for instance, let me just add this baking soda and then maybe this premium candle. Let me just add this 3. So for instance, we can see that the orange candle is on single unit. So when I tap on the plus, it's on retail. When I change it to 2, it's on retail. When I change it to probably 5, the price has changed to wholesale. So that was what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about. Let's move on. So after selecting the items, let's proceed to sell. We can add discount here. For instance, when a person is buying and then you would like to add discount, you can tap on add discount and then we select by price or by percentage. So for instance, if I'm selling by, I'm adding percentage by, if I'm adding discounts by percentage, I'll just tap on 10 or the percentage discount I'm adding, and then automatically to be applied to the total cost here. Also, if I'm adding by amount, I can just tap on the amount here and then it changes to the amount. So let me just choose percentage, and then I'll select the payment method of the customer. If the customer is paying by cash, card, transfer, or credit, we select that. So assuming the customer is buying on credit, we can just tap on credit, fill in the customer's info, and then confirm. So with that, the sale goes through successfully by its own credit. The person buys on credit, and then the person will pay later. And also we can be able to select the day they will be paying. So with that, we will be able to also send reminders to the people when the due date is in. So let's continue. So we select with cash. Let's say the person is buying by cash. And then we complete sale. So you wait for it to process a little. And then that's all. So we are done. We have completed the sale. We can print receipt or skip. So this is our receipt. This is a receipt we got, and we can either share it to our clients by PDF or any instant messaging app, or we can just still move or go ahead and print. So now let's go back and go to the next feature, which is reverse sale. Reverse sale. So reverse sale is where we're able to reverse wrong transactions, or if there's any item being brought back and you need to reverse, you can just head on to reverse sale, input your code, and then for instance, the items we just sold, we can remove. Probably if the pen we sold, the quantity is we were supposed to input or sell 5, and unfortunately we input 8. Sorry, we can change it. And if the person brought one that is not working, we can also adjust it here that the person brought it, and then we input our code, and then we confirm. Now item has been reversed. Also, if you would like to reverse the entire sale, we can just tap on reverse here and we reverse the entire sale. So that's all for reverse sale. Track sales, we can head on to track sales, and here we will be able to see analytics and everything in our shop. So we'll be able to view the top performing item, the least selling item, and everything. So when you come here, you'll be able to see every single thing. And when you miss any receipt, or a client comes back asking for a receipt, you can still go to track sale, transaction history, select the transaction, and then you tap on print receipt, send the receipt to the person. So now let's head back, and then we go to Profit Pulse, one of the most important features on the app. So with Profit Pulse, when we tap on Profit Pulse, and then it opens, we input our code, it opens. It tells us exactly how much we are making after deducting the cost of the goods from the total sales, and then it tells us how much profit we've made so far. So you can use the Profit Pulse to watch the analytics and everything going on in your shop. You can add credit as well. So as people are buying on credit, it's still appearing here, and you can see everything. Inventory cost analysis as well. So the total stock value, how much you've put inside your store, the shop, or your business so far. What it does is it multiplies the cost of the goods by the quantity. So everything, and then you see it. So also you can check the particular month in which you sold. For instance, if I check on this date, when I tap on it, on this green, the days I sold. So the greens are indicating the days I sold. When you tap on it, it shows you how much you made that day, that particular day. So you can view that as well. And then advanced expenses tracking. So head to that as well. You can just tap on that, and then you add expenses. For instance, if you have workers working for you, you pay rent, utility, food, transportation, you add that as well. So let's head on to let's move to one of the exciting features on the app, which is change calculator. So usually we know when someone comes to buy from our shop or our store, and then most times we are in a hurry, doing manual calculations or calculations of head seems a little busy, or it seems a little hard. It takes much time. Some of us resort into using external calculators or using calculators on the phone. You can quickly head on to change at the bottom here with the green and then the orange feature here. You can just tap on it, and then automatically it tells you, it records the last sale. So it captures the last sale. So the last sale we made $117. It captures that. So all we need to do is just put the amount the person paid. So for instance, if the person gave us $200, so $200, the system automatically calculates and tells us how much change we are giving. So no need to take a calculator and then punch that in. After every sale, the last sale or the recent sale or the last sale appears here. So you can just input the amount you've been paid, and then it tells you how much change to give. Also, it has a built-in calculator where if you need to do basic calculations, let's say 569 multiplied by 8, it gives you sample answers, and then simple calculations can be done here. So now let's head on to other features as well. So we will have to move a little bit fast. So let's move on to quick audit. So quick audit actually helps you to make quick audits, for instance, and it works also like an anti-theft. So for instance, if you have workers working for you and then you need to put them on their toes, you need to know how much is going in and going out, you can just use the quick audit. So for instance, after they sell for you during a day, and then you are expecting cash or the amount of money they need to give you, you can just tap on generate audits, and then it gives you a financial summary of what went on that day. So for instance, today being Friday, October 3rd, 2025 audit, this is a summary. So I sold a total sale of 2,107 cedis, and then expected cash. So when I was selling, I chose cash. So I need to hand over, that's 2,107 cedis, 30% over, and then card. So if I selected card, that means when my boss or when the person in charge or my manager checks what is on the our bank account or where the money is, the money needs to tally with this. So that means nothing can go missing. We will know exactly how much went in and then went out. We will know everything. And then expected credit as well. Also, let's check this. Random self-check. So this is the most important side of the quick audit. So this side, it tells us what we need to check on the shelf randomly. So anytime you come back, it generates new things. So you check here, expected. So for instance, let's start with mother. So the mother here, she'll be 12 on the shelf, and then actually there's 12 on the shelf. So when you count on the shelf in the shop, and then there's less, instead of 12, let's say you have 11, that means one is missing. And you need to look for that. If you actually use the app right, you actually track or you actually record every sale you sell, you definitely need to check that. Also, you can see here there's a variance of 1. Let's move to orange candle. So expected is 8 on the shelf and the actual on the shelf is 7. That means there's 1 missing, which is I sold 1. So what we need to do is we need to check the shelf and see if the total quantity there is actually matching or tallying with what is in the app. With that, we know, yes, everything is working fine. If nothing goes right and then nothing tallies, if what is on the shelf doesn't tally with what is in the app, that means, let's check down here, expected stock, current stock plus items sold. If actual shelf count doesn't match expected stock, there may be theft, error, or unrecorded sales. So it might be that maybe your worker stole it, or they sold without recording it, or there's a little bit error with everything being done. in the shop. So you can either export it here, you can export the whole audit, or you can select weekly, monthly, and then you continue to audit. So each time you select a particular day, you tap on generate audit, and then it generates the audits for you. So now let's head back. Let's just run through them with all products. This is where you see the items, every item in your shop. Quick, credit management. So this is where you check people owing you. You check how much they're owing you and everything. Create invoice. So this is where we create professional invoices. So when you tap on create invoice, you can tap on the items you would like to send to the person as an invoice. So for instance, these are the items. I can choose to increase quantity or decrease. And then you input the customer's name. So for instance, let's say example, email, example@gmail.com. Phone number, we input the person's phone number. Company is optional, maybe address, VK 1818 81 51. And then that's just it. If you have any additional notes, you add it. Maybe please pay on time. And then basically that's just it. And then you tap on generate invoice, and automatically generates professional invoice for you that you can generate as a PDF, and then you can share with your clients. Also, restock alert. So this is one of the most important features of the app. When items are finishing in the shop, you can head on to restock alert. Well, whenever you receive notification of items finishing in the shop, or you want to restock things into your shop, you go to restock alert, and then you confirm. So actually the restock alert tells you how much or how many items are left, what is finishing, and then what needs attention. So these are the items in the shop. So when you buy new items, you don't need to add them back as new inventories. You can just come to restock alert. So for instance, if I buy new pens and then I need to restock, I just tap on restock and I input new quantity. So the new quantity, I just probably, if I bought 10, I'll input 10. If there's a new cost price, I input it. If there's no new cost price, I leave it. Expiry date as well. And then these are optional, supplier's name and contact. And then I just tap on add stock. And then it automatically adds the stock, and that's all. It's gone. So if I want to restock or head on to the market, and then I need a list of items finishing in my shop or my store, I just head on to generate market list, and then the system automatically generates list of items finishing in the shop, which I can export and then have them as a PDF file, and then you can head on to the market. So basically that's it. So if I want to switch between shops, I can also switch, tap on my shops and then switch. So the rest of the features are also things that you need to just get into for the sake of time, and then how lengthy this video is getting, we just have to cut it here so we know basically how to set it up and then how to use the app. Also, we can just head to, yes, for now that's it. So now let's just learn how to use the app offline, and then we are done for this video. So to use the app offline, you can either use the power button at the top left corner where the date is. You can see where the date is, the power button there, or we scroll down to offline management and we use it. So let me just click on that. So we are here. So this is the offline management. So before you can sell offline, you need to open the offline management, and then you tap on go offline, and then you go offline. So the system downloads your stored data, and then you can sell offline. So wait for it to load for a while, and then that's just it. So now we are offline. You can see at the top here, offline mode active. So sales are being queued for synchronization. So that's it. So everything we sell, it doesn't automatically add itself to the store, but we need to come back online. We need to sync or synchronize the data for it to go. So now I can just turn off my Wi-Fi, and then I can still sell offline. So I can come, select any item I want to sell at all, change the quantity or anything, and then just like always, we can still sell, select anything, sell, and we can view receipt as well, print receipt, and that's it. We can still sell offline. So after selling, or then more we sell, after the day ends or we are done selling and we want to come back online and then synchronize the data, we can still come back to offline mode. You can still close the app, by the way. You can close the app, you can open it, but make sure you do not delete the app or clear the app's data. One last time, we make sure we don't delete the app or clear the app's data. If not, if we don't sync or synchronize the data, there's sold items which we sold, the items we sold offline, and then we delete the app, we might lose that. So we need to keep that in mind. And then we always sync the data or come back online for it to automatically sync before we delete the app, or in case we want to do anything. But if the phone is going off or coming back on, it wouldn't do anything. So that's just a safety precaution. So now that we've sold an item online, you can see that at the top here, one offline transaction. So to sync that after selling, for instance, after using the app for a couple of days or the whole day, so it's always advisable to sync or come back online after the day ends or after you are done selling for the system to process the sales you made. So we can just turn or switch online. You can just connect, and then you realize that syncing offline transactions automatically, it syncs. So as soon as the connection is back, automatically it goes. So you see synced. One, the item we sold, there's the item we sold, and then there's it. So we can decide to continue selling offline, or we can just, to view our analytics and then everything in the shop, we can still come back and then go online, and then you process it, and then we are back in the store again. So basically, for the sake of time and then how long this video is getting, we pause here, and then if you need any clarification, you can reach out to us, and then we will always be here to help and then assist you through everything. So that's basically it. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like and then subscribe to the channel to get more updates. Thank you.